Hi, first graders. In reading today, what we're going to do is we're going to practice making some connections to the character to get to know them a little bit better and understand them. And the other thing that we're going to do is practice becoming a fluent reader. So you're going to listen to some fluent reading in our Mercy Watson Goes for a Ride book. We're going to read another part of it. And we're also going to try to relate to Mercy and the other characters in the book. So I'll show you what that looks like. Chapter 2. He he he, says Mr. Watson every Saturday. You, my dear, are a porcine wonder. But even porcine wonders cannot drive cars. Mr. Watson gently pushes Mercy toward the passenger seat, but Mercy does not move. She does not want to sit in the passenger seat. Mercy wants to drive. He he he, says Mr. Watson again. He pushes less gently. Scoot over, my dear. Mercy does not move. Help me, Mr. Watson calls out. Every Saturday, Mrs. Watson steps outside. Darling, Mrs. Watson says, if you let Mr. Watson drive, I will make you an extra helping of hot buttered toast. I will have it waiting for you when you get back home. Mercy narrows her eyes. She loves hot buttered toast. She also loves extra helpings. Slowly, very slowly, she moves over to the passenger side. What a dear, says Mrs. Watson. She claps her hands. You are such a good sport, darling. Yes, says Mr. Watson, she most certainly is. He gets in the car and sits behind the wheel. He turns the key in the ignition. The Watson convertible rumbles to life. Now, as you listen to that part of Mercy Watson, you may have made a connection to one of the characters, and it could be any one of the characters. Some of you might have related to Mercy, and it may have reminded you of when your parents ask you to do something, but you don't really want to do it, and so you get stubborn. And you may have related to another character in the book as well. You may have also heard how I was reading with a lot of expression, and I gave each character a different voice. And that's part of being a fluent reader, and I'm going to have you practice doing that in your RAS books, and I can't wait to hear it.
Hi, first graders. You've done a really great job exploring characters in your books, and I want you to continue doing that. And I'm going to show you how you can use the tool that we were introduced to last week, and also how we can practice becoming a fluent reader. Now, some of us had a little trouble with the reflections tab last week. If you're using RAS on a tablet, it will not be available. So if that's your only option, just jot the reflection down on a piece of paper. If you are on a computer using RAS, what you can do is make sure you're in the area where you are reading the book independently. Once you're doing that, you will find all of your tools available here at the top. You're going to begin reading your book, and then you're going to answer a question that was posed to you. So you'll get your reflections tab, and if it asks you, if the question being asked is, what is something your character likes, and you read the book, you can click on the journal, click the reflections tab, add a reflection, and you can say, the grasshopper likes to eat green leaves. It's really important that you click save reflection here, and it'll tell you that the date that you did it, and then you can click the arrow. As you complete the book, make sure you hit done at the end so that it sends to your teacher. Another thing that you can do to practice fluency, and that's going to be something new that we're doing this week, is you can use the microphone right here. This is a recorder. Once you hit the microphone, you will have 3 more tools that are available to you. This one is to record. This one is if you want to do something new. And this is to play back what you've done. So right now we're going to just press record. And you can see that the recording is going, and actually I had started it earlier. And what you're going to make sure is that it's recording for at least 30 seconds. That's going to be really important. If it's less than 30 seconds, it will not send to your teacher. So the way we practice becoming a fluent reader or is by practicing reading it aloud. We want to make sure our reading is smooth without any choppy parts, and that we're also reading with expression. So let me show you what that looks like. On this page, it says, day after day, the green grasshopper grazed. Most of the time, grasshopper grazed on green leaves. Sometimes he grazed on grass. Now, I might get to a part that's a little bit tricky for me, and I might need to pause and think about what the words are saying. Let me show you what that might sound like. But grasshopper was tired of grazing on green leaves and grass. Now, that's not nice and smooth. It sounded a little bit choppy. So, what I can do as a reader is I can go back and reread it. But Grasshopper was tired of grazing on green leaves and grass. I'm going to eat new food today, he said. Then he hopped into the forest. It's okay to go back and reread, and your teacher will hear that you are trying it again and it didn't sound right to you. And we love to hear when you're fixing your own mistakes. So, what I want you to do this week is you're going to practice recording yourselves um, and also leaving reflections, and we'll tell you when you want to try that. You don't have to do both on both days. But those are two tools that we would like to see you using so that you can become a better reader. All right? Keep working hard, boys and girls. We're really proud of you.